Hello and thank you for joining me. This is Sierra from Sierra T Designs, and today I have for you a rainbow blended happy birthday card. So let's jump right in. So to start, I am going to start with my blending. To do my blending, I have the My Favorite Things Cloud Stencil, and I've got several Oxide ink colors. Here I have Picked Raspberry, Carved Pumpkin, Squeezed Lemonade, Twisted Citron, Mermaid, Lagoon, and Wilted Violet. And I'm just going to use my blending foam and tool. These are the domed foams from scrapbook.com. And I'm just going to blend across each of the colors on the cloud. And I'm going to rotate my stencil every time I start blending just to get a bit of a different look to the cloud shape. And I'm going to do the whole panel in this. And so this panel is some Bristol smooth cardstock. I have it cut down to 5 1/4 by 4. It's going to be matted, of course. If you've been with me before, you know that I like to mat everything on a black cardstock. And this is no exception to that. So I have a black piece of cardstock cut down as well to a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then my card base will be a A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I always pre-cut my paper. I find it's easier personally because I like to know what size of cardstock I'm working with, so I know what I want to hang over or how I want my end of the card to look. You can start bigger, you could cut it down, but generally I personally I start with the card size that I am going to work with. So you can see each one of these colors has their own foam. I don't have a ton of blending tools, but I have a lot of foams. And I recently came up with a way to store them. So I'm going to share that oh, sorry guys. I'm going to share that with you very soon. My way of storing these blending foams. It's going to be a free download on my website. I'm just working on getting the blog post ready for that, and then it will be a free download that you can download and do yourself. And I'll have a little video just showing them to you. Probably, I'm going to say, not this week, maybe next week. We'll see. I'll post and let you know, of course, and it's always in my email. So if you ever want to receive my little newsletter that kind of walks you through, I do a 1 monthly newsletter, usually at the end of the month, just kind of a recap on the month, or if I'm doing a giveaway, I'll also send an email for that. If you have any interest in signing up for my email and my newsletter, you just go to my blog, which is linked below in the description, and you can sign up. And then, yeah, you just get little updates from me. So if you have any interest, that would be great. So here you can see I'm struggling a little bit with Wilted Violet, only because it's on the bottom, and because every time I have to move my hand, the stencil shifts, and then I lose where I'm trying to place it. So you could have maybe done some pixie spray or something to kind of make this a bit easier, but because I was going to keep moving the stencil down, I didn't use any pixie spray. So it's pretty much, you could have taped it. You could have taken some tape and taped it to the side. I didn't. I was too lazy for that, so I honestly just kind of fought with it a little bit to get what I wanted. In the end, it works okay. I mean, this is the background. It's not the only focal, so I kind of actually just, I'm going to take the Panda that we're going to stamp out here in a minute, and I'm going to cover up that really thick purple area with the Panda, so you're not even going to see it. So here I have my mini Misti, and I have a piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp out the Panda that I want to use, and the balloons, the happy balloons. And they're going to be stamped in Gink K amalgam ink because it is a Copic friendly ink. And the Copic coloring on this, you guys, is super, super simple. There's so little to color because pandas are black and white, obviously, and the stamping ink will take care of most of that. So the Copic coloring on this is going to be really simple. And you can see this is a new stamp set when I was using it this time, and I had to kind of condition the stamps with my hand. So I'm just putting a little bit of oil from my fingers on top of the stamp so they stamp a bit better. And then I'm going to stamp it down, and because it's the first time, you don't get a great impression, so I'm going to stamp it again. I'm trying to get a better impression from the ink, and I don't think I stamp it 3 times. I edited this video a little while ago, and I don't quite remember quite all what I left in, so it's always a little bit of an adventure when I do a voiceover for some of these, because I don't remember quite what I left in for the editing. So for the Copic markers, here you can see I'm going to do his feet, his paws, and for his paws I did RV00, and then for the happy going across the balloons, they're not gonna be blended because it's pretty hard to blend these colors into each other, but I tried to find Copics that I owned that kind of matched the clouds in the background. So I'm going to use RV04, Y06, YG01, B04, Y38, and V04. So I'm not really blending them together. I'm overlapping them a little bit, but I'm not blending them together so much. I'm kind of just filling in the balloon in the same order that the rainbow is in. And then I'm overlapping them a little bit in the center. And I'm kind of, because there's 5 letters and, 8 colors? I'm doing, like, each balloon has 2 colors in it, so that they're kind of overlapping into the next color. Is there even 8 colors? Maybe there's like 7 colors. I can't count, guys. I'll be honest with you. It's been a week. So after this coat of coloring, I'm going to fussy cut all of this out. Everything that I use in any of my videos, all of my videos, will be listed and linked below if you have any interest in checking out the products. That supports my little channel, and it's amazing if you're going to buy and you don't mind using affiliate links. That always supports us YouTubers, and that's just a amazing thing for you guys to do, and it's no extra cost to you. So if it's items you were going to buy anyways, and you click on a link, that supports my little channel. I get a little bit of a commission off of the affiliate links, which is just amazing. And so here you can see that I took the exact same colors that I used in the Happy, and I'm just filling in the little polka dots on the hat and the confetti that's flying out of the image there. So for fussy cutting this, you could use the die set. There is a matching die set. I don't own it. I got this in a Simon Says Stamp kit, so it doesn't come with the dies, of course, and so I just fussy cut. I have no problem fussy cutting. I don't mind it at all. I kind of find it enjoyable. I don't tend to record it because I'm so slow, but I don't mind doing it. So I just fussy cut out the images, and then that's kind of all I do. So here I wanted to glue the balloons to the panda's hand, so I took some glue and glued them there, and then I'm using my reverse tweezers to hold the balloons in the hand while the glue dries, because otherwise they might not stay there, or they might stick in a different angle than what I'm hoping for. So I just stuck them down and then held it with my reverse tweezers. And then I'm going to take a different panda from the exact same stamp set. This one's holding a cake, and I'm going to stamp it on the inside of the card base. I've been loving doing the inside of the card bases. It's kind of something just a little bit extra. I don't do much. Usually it's an image and maybe a sentiment. Sometimes it's just a sentiment. And I tend to use Oxides for this because I find that since they stamp so beautifully and they're not as harsh as like the black ink, or they're not as strong as the black ink, they're easier to write over top of if you wanted to. I tend to just write around them, honestly, because I don't generally pick images that are so big that you struggle to write over top of them, but I believe I used Picked Raspberry, which is one of my favorite colors. I'm going to have to order reinkers soon. I don't have any reinkers in my collection at all, and I'm getting close to needing some. So here I'm going to take my, what is that one? Gink K Connect glue? Yes, it is. I'm going to take my Gink K Connect glue, and I'm going to glue my panel, the clouded panel, down onto my black mat, like I promised I was going to do. And I always leave 1/8 of an inch around the mat, just for that little bit of a peak of color. I really think it helps, especially like something like with a rainbow or something very bright. I think it helps pop the colors a little bit from the white background of the card. I tend to use white card bases. You wouldn't have to by any means, but I tend to. So because of that, I like to add that black mat that's just giving a little more pop to the image. So here I'm going to take Brutus Monroe's foam tape, and I'm going to stick that all over the background of this. Now I struggle a little bit to cut foam tape. I'm going to be honest with you. It takes me a minute to kind of cut it down well enough to get it to do anything, and then I find my scissors stick really bad. So I've been using the mini snips by Tim Holtz, and because they're serrated, I found that this has actually been working a bit better for me. So I've been really enjoying those scissors. I love the Tim Holtz scissors. I just ordered the sheer, the long ones, and they should be in pretty soon here with my speckled egg ink. I can't wait. But I love these Tim Holtz scissors. I can't suggest them enough. I also always use them when I fussy cut out an image. I find that they're really sharp, and they sharpen themselves, and they're just so beautiful and easy to use. So if you're struggling or you're looking for a good pair of scissors, those are a good pair of scissors. So I took a piece of the same black cardstock I used on the mat behind the clouds, and I'm going to stamp out Happy Birthday. It's from the exact same this stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, Party Like a Panda, and it just says Happy Birthday in a small font, and I'm going to heat emboss this because I wanted it to stand out a bit from the cardstock. and I'm going to use Brutus and Monroe's Alabaster White embossing powder. It's a fine detail embossing powder, and the Versamark ink, which is a clear sticky ink. And of course I had to treat it with my powder tool. You can see that there's quite a bit of the anti-static powder tool in the background there. That's not a problem. Once you've dumped on your embossing powder and you heat it up and melt it, you can wipe that off. Like, I just use a microfiber cloth and I just wipe off the leftover ink, or the leftover powder, and that takes it away, no problem. I've never had any issues with it leaving residue on my cardstock or anything. So I trimmed it down into a little label, and I'm going to stick it down here. Well, I use some matte medium for that, and I'm just going to stick it down on underneath the happy birthday on the balloons, because now it's going to read happy, happy birthday, which I just thought was so adorable. I had to use the balloons. I couldn't resist. They're just so cute. So I'm going to use that same Gink K Connect glue, and I'm going to glue my black matted panel down onto the card base, making sure that it's the right orientation. Have you ever done that? You go to stick down the panel that you've worked on, and then you realize that you stick it on the upside down. So now the card is upside down in the bottom, which should be fine, you know, if you hadn't stamped on the inside and now it's upside down. I have done this, just so you know, and just cut the panel off. That's what I would do. I would just cut the panel off and then stick it on a different bottom, and now it's just a bit thicker. And then here, this is a little trick. I use the Tim Holtz pokey tool. It's the craft pick, but I call it the pokey tool. And I just lift off the backing to the foam tape. I find that a lot easier than trying to fight with it with my nails. Sadly, these are not, this is recorded, I believe I recorded this one in January. My nails are not this stunning yet, sadly. Here in a week or two, I should be able to get in and get my nails done again, and I'm so excited. I miss them so much. And then I took some Simon Says stamp, I believe these are Moonshine, sorry. Simon Says stamp Moonshine Assorted sequins, and I'm just going to glue them down. And then I also took a Spectrum Noir glitter pen in clear, and I'm just going to put that over the happy in the balloons, just to add a little bit more shimmer to the card. If you've been around for a little while, you'll know that I love the shimmer. I love the glitter. I have to add it to all of the things. It just makes my day. So, oh, and I did also on the polka dots on the Panda's hat. And then I believe we're just going to stick them down, because I haven't done that yet. You can see I'm still using the crystal katana in this video. I have moved on now to the embellishment wand by Studio Katia, which I find is actually a better price for this very similar wand, and it actually works better. At least in my experience so far, I've found that that wand is way better. So I'll link them both down below if you have interest in either. If you've been watching my videos recently, you'll have seen the embellishment wand from Studio Katia. But in this one, I have the crystal katana. It was a bit of an investment, and sadly, I struggle with the tip. I'm not sure it doesn't pick up, or it doesn't let go, or it doesn't. It's a bit of a fight for me to get it to do anything, and I don't know if that's just me. Maybe one of my cats chewed on it when I wasn't looking, but I have been struggling with it. But I do eventually get all the gems down, and then we're good to go. So that is my card for today. I would love to know what you guys think. If you wanted to leave me a comment or a like, if you wanted to subscribe, that would be amazing. I do a new video every Monday, and I would love to have you back, and I thank you so much for your support and so much for stopping by. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you again very soon.